Hey, Tim Sykes here, and I have some interesting news to report. This was Friday, the biggest morning spiker, GBR, from roughly 3.6 to 5.6, all in the first 20 minutes. The big spike really happened right near the market open when it broke the pre-market highs here at 4:30 and went to 5:20, and this is all in the first 10, 15 minutes. And I have been seeing a lot of this lately, so have you. And I think that there's a better way for me to teach this pattern. So I wrote this post on Friday, and it's called Changing the Way I Teach. You can go to timothysykes.com and read the whole blog post. But long story short, on plays like this, instead of alerting, I'm going to be doing live videos of my trades. And sometimes I might even miss the trade. You'll see me miss the trade. But I'm going to show my screen and what I'm trying to do with this rather than trying to do the trade and write out an alert, like explaining why I'm buying, explaining why I'm, what my goals are. Because when I write out an alert and do a trade, I'm already multitasking. And it takes, I don't know, sometimes some alerts are like 10 or 15 seconds, but usually I write out an alert. It's like 30, maybe 45 seconds because I want to explain my thought process, rationale, where my mental stop loss is sometimes, where my goal is, because I want to try and get you inside my head on every single trade. But the problem with these fast moving stocks is that, frankly, by the time you get the alert, the situation has changed. If I had been trading GBR, and I didn't even trade this on Friday, mind you, I'll go over the stock I did trade in a second. But if I had traded it, I would have bought the breakout here at 430, maybe probably like 435, probably 2,000 shares with a goal of selling in the high fours. By the time you could even get the alert, by the time I would write out the alert, I mean, literally it goes from 430 right here. This is at 9:38 a.m. and it's at 480 at 9:41. So 3 minutes, it would have already hit my goals. So if I had traded this, if I had sent out an alert, it would have been totally irrelevant. And, that hurts your education process because by the time you get the alert, it's already hit my goals. What do you learn? You learn nothing and you get discouraged. And I hear this from students because they're like, God, these spikes happen so fast. Your alerts are sometimes late. And I think the problem is that some of you guys have been using my alerts the wrong way. I always say never follow my alerts. Never follow anybody's alerts. Never follow people's picks. The whole key to success in this game is anticipation and preparation and learning when to buy. You should already know to buy the high of the day breakout on a low float play that's running on a Friday morning. But many of you guys don't. And when you don't know what to do, you rely on alerts. And when the stock is moving too fast, the alert is too late and it's useless. And by the time you even get the buy alert, it's already hit my target range of where I want to sell. There's a problem. And in this hot market, we see a lot of these morning spikes, and it really hurts my whole alert and education process. So I wrote this post on Friday, Changing the Way I Teach, where on future plays like this with morning spikes or low float plays where, it could be really fast. I mean, you never know if it's really going to be fast or not, but you pretty much know on a Friday morning with a low float play and the volume is spiking, this is probably either going to be fast or, it could obviously just get stuffed and fail. But either way, you're going to know if the trade is successful or not within 10 to 15 minutes, thus rendering any alerts I send, buy, sell, or no alert, it's all useless. So in the future, from now on, instead of sending out alerts, I'm going to be making live videos for my subscribers of my screen so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Again, some plays I will be trading. Some of them you will see me actually miss because a lot of the time, these plays spike too fast and I just miss them. But either way, you will get the video later in the day and you will see exactly my thought process and what happened, what I did right or what I did wrong. And I think that's going to really help you guys understand this process a lot more. So if you like this idea, I encourage you to read this whole blog post. I'm just summarizing this blog post, but if you like it, please vote on this video. Give it a rating of 5 stars. If you don't like it, give it a 1 star. We're going to see what people like and what they don't like. I mean, I'm trying anything to teach. And I think that more live videos of live trades is a good idea as opposed to so many alerts. Now, that said, don't freak out that I'm not going to give any alerts. Sometimes you have slower moving stocks like EBIO. And this one I gave nearly an hour trying to buy the morning spike. This was a breakout on Friday, multi-month breakout on earnings, and huge volume, nearly 10 million shares. But it was a clear breakout above this 440, 450 level. I bought it at 458. After it had already spiked to 490, I thought that it could get back up to the 490s, and it just couldn't. For the whole morning session, my 450 buy wasn't that bad. I mean, at worst, I would have lost like 20 cents a share. But long story short, it didn't spike that fast in the morning. It did get back to the 480s later, but I was already asleep. I'm in Asia, so I'm aiming, well, even though I'm in Asia, but in this market, I'm also just aiming for morning spikes because, plays like GBR, this is fantastic when you can get $2 a share in under an hour. EBIO was a slower moving trade. So I alerted this. I actually had a small loss on this one. I lost roughly $200, which is acceptable. Some of you guys think like a loss is like the end of the world. Hey, losses are a part of the game. We all make mistakes sometimes. In the end, EBIO wasn't that bad of a pick. I probably could have walked away with 20 cents a share. But when there's 20 cents a share of downside and 20 cents a share of upside, it doesn't matter. It's not spiking that fast. It's not spiking big. It's a scratch, whether I make or lose 5 or 10 cents. And I lost, as it turned out, 9 cents a share. But on this play, I will alert because it's not a fast moving play and I can show you my thought process. And then, in the chat room, I gave follow-up commentary, like, I don't know, maybe half a dozen different pieces of commentary where I'm giving it more time. Oh, it failed. I cut losses. So you can kind of see the trade play out in roughly an hour as opposed to a play like GBR where any play that I would have done would have happened within 10 minutes. So this is my plan. I'm still going to alert the slower moving plays, the fast moving plays. I'm just going to do more live video lessons that I will then post later in the day or at night so that you can review what happened earlier. And I think that's a good educational balance because right now, too many of you guys think that you should just rely on alerts. And I specifically tell you, don't do that, but you don't follow the rules. So I have to change my teaching style a little bit to really put the proper emphasis on preparation and review and having a thesis and refining and refining and refining. So live videos I think are going to be huge, but again, I could be wrong. You try things in life and in trading and in teaching. I think this is a good idea, but leave a comment and vote on this video. Let me know what you think. I also got to give props to a few students. Trading Elixir, he actually held EBIO from my morning alert and he held it into the afternoon. And that's fantastic. I love when my students do better than me. Sometimes I'm going to have a loss and my students are going to have a gain. As I said, EBIO wasn't a terrible pick. It wasn't a great pick. There was some money to be made, but I just didn't do it. And that's okay. But I'm glad my students did. And then I also got to give props to my student Josh Sauce, who tweeted me on Friday, and he said, best day trading so far. Profited $1,700 for the day trading with holding no positions overnight. Can't wait for Monday. Thanks, Timothy Sykes. And Josh Sauce, I love that. Whether you guys want to hold stocks overnight or trade intraday, it's all about you. Whatever makes you comfortable. If you have work, if you have school, if you're in Asia like I am, that's going to influence how you trade. And you just have to be aware of that. So don't feel like you always have to hold positions overnight. Don't feel like you always have to day trade. Make the stock market and stock trading work for you and your schedule. And you'll be rewarded over time. I know it's tough, but trading is tough. Teaching trading is tough. But there are rewards. I don't think there are any other industries where you can make $1,700 in the day, not hold stocks overnight, probably has no degree whatsoever, no formal training. So this is a good job, but you have to study and you have to learn. So hopefully you guys understand where I'm coming from, and I look forward to seeing your reaction to the way that I'm changing the way I teach. I think it'll be really useful. But have a great weekend, and remember to leave a comment and vote on this video if you think this is a good idea. Thank you.